Half a million years ago, New Zealand was a world untouched by mammalian predators, where colossal birds roamed the dense forests, towering ferns stretched toward the sky, and ancient reptiles lurked in the undergrowth. This terrain was shaped by isolation, where evolution took a unique path, giving rise to creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Without large land-dwelling carnivores, the balance of power belonged not to mammals, but to birds, some growing to immense sizes, filling niches that in other parts of the world would have been overtaken by many other large predators. This was a land ruled by giants, where survival was dictated by an evolutionary arms race unlike anywhere else. Prey species like the moa thrived in the absence of traditional predators, weighing hundreds of pounds. But even they were not safe. In this lost wilderness, the skies belonged to a hunter of almost mythical proportions. A bird so powerful it could bring down creatures many times its own weight with a single, devastating strike. Nestled within New Zealand's rugged and remote landscapes once lived a predator that could easily fit in any fantastical storybook. Known as Haast's eagle, this formidable bird was the largest eagle to have ever lived. This creature had talons almost as large as a human hand, a wingspan stretching up to 3 meters, 10 feet, and the raw strength to lift animals the size of a small horse. But the story of this incredible bird isn't just about its size. It's about the crucial role it played in its ecosystem, the balance it maintained, and ultimately the rapid decline that led to its extinction. The existence of Haast's eagle remained unknown to science until the late 19th century, when European settlers in New Zealand discovered enormous bird bones buried in the soil. Initially, these remains were thought to belong to an extinct vulture, but further study revealed something far more extraordinary. In the 1870s, paleontologist Julius von Haast examined the fossils and determined that they belonged to an eagle of unprecedented size, one unlike any raptor previously documented. Recognizing its significance, he named the species Harpagornis murray, though it would later become widely known as Haast's eagle in his honor. Von Haast's findings challenged existing ideas about bird evolution and predator-prey dynamics in isolated environments. Unlike other large birds of prey, which typically evolved to hunt smaller, more manageable animals, Haast's eagle had developed into a specialized hunter capable of preying on creatures many times its own weight. This discovery painted a picture of a natural system where birds, rather than mammals, had risen, filling roles usually occupied by large land predators elsewhere in the world. The more scientists studied these fossils, the more they realized just how unique and powerful this eagle had been. Massive size is always an eye-catching trait, but the way Haast's eagle was built for power rather than endurance is also noteworthy. Unlike modern eagles, which have long wings designed for flying over vast landscapes, Haast's eagle had relatively short but broad wings. This adaptation allowed it to maneuver swiftly through dense forests, relying on ambush tactics rather than long-distance flight. Despite its large frame, it was astonishingly agile, able to weave between trees to attack prey. And it was more than well equipped to handle the prey it was targeting, utilizing its incredible talons. These claws could generate enough force to puncture bone, sometimes instantly killing prey. Unlike many raptors that suffocate their victims, Haast's eagle likely killed with brute force, using its powerful legs to drive its talons into vital organs. Its hunting method was reminiscent of modern-day big cats, quick, efficient, and designed to overwhelm its target in single strikes. With the ability to dive at speeds exceeding 80 kilometers or 50 miles per hour, its attacks were sudden, brutal, and nearly impossible to escape. New Zealand's prehistoric environment was unlike any other, largely because of its isolation from the rest of the world for millions of years. While most ecosystems are structured around large land-dwelling predators such as wolves, lions, or bears, New Zealand lacked any native land mammals other than bats. Instead, its wildlife was dominated by birds, which evolved into the ecological roles typically occupied by mammals elsewhere. Among these was the previously mentioned moa, a massive, flightless bird that grew up to 3.6 meters or 12 feet tall and weighed as much as 250 kilograms or 550 pounds. In the absence of land-based predators, the moa thrived, filling the niche of large herbivores, much like deer or bison in other parts of the world. Haast's eagle evolved to hunt these towering birds, becoming the apex predator of its environment. Unlike most raptors, which target prey smaller than themselves, Haast's eagle routinely hunted animals that could weigh up to 15 times its own body weight. Scientists believe that it primarily preyed on juvenile and subadult moa, though even full-grown individuals were not safe from a well-planned ambush. This predator-prey relationship played a vital role in maintaining balance within New Zealand's environment. By culling weaker or slower individuals, Haast's eagle helped regulate the moa population, preventing overgrazing and ensuring the health of the environment. For thousands of years, this equilibrium remained stable, with the eagle reigning unchallenged as the undisputed king of the skies. But all of that changed with the arrival of a new predator, one that no species in New Zealand had ever encountered before. For millennia, Haast's eagle thrived as the dominant predator of New Zealand. But around 1,000 years ago, everything changed. The first Polynesian settlers, ancestors of the Maori, arrived on the islands around the 13th century. Unlike the slow, natural changes that had shaped New Zealand's ecosystem over millions of years, human arrival brought a rapid and unprecedented transformation. The Maori were skilled hunters, and upon discovering the moa, they saw an abundant and easily accessible food source. Using sophisticated hunting techniques, they began systematically reducing moa populations, driving them to extinction within just a few centuries. With its primary food source gone, Haast's eagle found itself in a dire situation. Some researchers believe that in its desperation, it may have turned to alternative prey, possibly even attacking humans. Maori oral traditions speak of a massive bird called the puakai, or hokioi, a fearsome creature said to have been capable of killing people. While no definitive evidence confirms that Haast's eagle regularly hunted humans, the idea is not far-fetched. With a wingspan that could block out the sun and daggers on its feet designed to crush bone, it would have been more than capable of taking down a person. Regardless of whether Haast's eagle ever preyed on humans, its fate was sealed. Without a stable food supply, its population collapsed, and within a few hundred years of human arrival, the species vanished from existence. The extinction of the moa and Haast's eagle marked the end of an evolutionary chapter that had played out in isolation for millions of years, forever altering New Zealand's landscape. Though Haast's eagle is long extinct, its legacy endures in fossils, legends, and scientific research. Modern studies have revealed fascinating insights into its evolutionary history, showing that despite its immense size, it was closely related to the much smaller little eagle, Hyraetus morphnoides. This discovery suggests that Haast's eagle evolved through a phenomenon known as island gigantism, in which species isolated on islands grow far larger than their mainland relatives due to the absence of competition. The possibility of bringing back Haast's eagle through de-extinction efforts has been discussed in scientific circles, though such a project remains purely theoretical for now. Ironically similar to the plot for a Jurassic Park film, advances in genetic technology have allowed researchers to extract and analyze ancient DNA. But resurrecting an apex predator would pose significant ethical and ecological challenges. Even if cloning were possible, finding a suitable habitat and a stable food source for the species would be a daunting task. More importantly, the story of Haast's eagle serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of ecosystems. It highlights the devastating impact that human activity can have on wildlife, particularly in isolated environments where species have evolved without natural defenses against new threats. Studying this lost giant allows scientists to better understand the intricate connections between predators, prey, and habitat, lessons that remain crucial in today's conservation efforts. Though it no longer soars over New Zealand, Haast's eagle remains one of the most extraordinary birds to have ever lived. Its story reminds us of the power of nature's evolutionary forces and the responsibility we have to protect the species that still exist today. By learning from the past, we may yet safeguard the future of the world's remaining apex predators, ensuring that their own stories do not end in the same way.